love it. I love it.
I'm used to shouting in church. Come on down here, kid. Good job,
Good
Papa.
job, Papa.
Go over and give him 5. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. We're glad that you're here. I don't think it's going to do good, Dad. He's all right. When I was your age, they didn't teach me that it was okay to have fun at church, and it is okay to have fun at church. I'm going to be preaching today in my sermon about a man named Jacob who actually wrestled with God. He fought with God. Doesn't sound like a good idea. I used to fight with my little brother, and he would throw darts at me or shoot a bow and arrow at me or hit me with a 2x4 when I wasn't looking. But he was smaller than me. He was littler, and so I was bigger and sometimes could be a bully. So he had to just get his licks in when he could. So I don't know if you fight with your brother or sister or cousins. I used to fight with my cousins. But Jacob wound up, after fighting with God, God kind of whipped up on him a little bit, and for the rest of his life he walked with a limp. Now the Bible doesn't say that Jacob had a cane, or he walked with a walking stick, or that he had a staff, but I suspect that his injury was probably so grievous that Jacob probably walked the rest of his life with some kind of assistance to walk. Now, this was my uncle's walking stick, Uncle Cornelius Monroe Bain. And the paint is completely worn off right here from his walking with it. And then when he passed away, it went to my dad, and my dad used it in the waning years of his life. And I've got it now, and so I'm prepared. I'm ready for what happens to Bain's later on. Now, if you see someone, Ned, you got a stick with you today? Kind of wave it like a, and Ned collects, what should I call them? I'd say collectible or unique walking sticks. And so I'm always interested when he comes to church. I want to see what kind of walking. So there's Ned Stevenson. He's a little bit older than you, and you might not know his name, but whenever he's here, go see what kind of walking stick he's got, because it's probably got a gun in it. It can shoot, or a sword. But this is just a plain old stick right here. And I have never had use or need for it. I think Carrie used it in a snag one time. But later on, when she had her knee surgery, she got this walking stick right here. Now this is like a Cadillac. It's got a foam handle right here, and it's got I don't know what that is, but just a little strap. You can hang on to it, hang it on the back door. You can hold that right there, and it's got a foot on the bottom of it here, and you can adjust it. Watch this. You can make it to fit your size. It looks like, and it's got polka dots all over. It looks like it's for an old hippie, and so that's very, very appropriate. So she keeps that handy, and she has used that at various times and helped her kind of get around. Well, the use of a cane or a walking stick is not a sign of weakness. As a matter of fact, if you see someone who has a walking stick like that, you should view it as a badge of honor. It's a weapon. And you can look at that person, any person that has a walking stick, you can say they have been through some stuff. They have had a hard time. They have had some difficulties. Now, I've looked around. Miss Joan had to walk with a cane for a little while, and she's thrown hers off to the side. And I look around, and I see that some of y'all have had a cane from time to time. And we might have another walking stick in our future, but don't worry about that. My daddy tells a story about my grandfather. This was not his stick, but he was walking down the streets of Athens, not very far where Johnny and Jeannie lived, and a little boy was walking toward him. Now, my daddy's daddy was very old when my dad was born. So when he was about 7 or 8 years old, his daddy was already like 60, 67 years old. And he was walking with his cane, knee and Bain, and my dad was walking beside of him to kind of keep him on the right path. And they had assigned my dad to take care of his daddy. And this little boy was walking here, and it happened to be, it was a little black boy. And things were a lot different between black people and white people back then. This little boy was just minding his own business and just walking the same opposite direction. And my daddy says he nearly picked up his cane like that, and he poked that little boy on the top of the head and scared him to death. Now let me show you, I've got it. I might use that cane, but let me show you my cane, okay? Can you see it? Watch. Look at there. I have to go get it. Y'all might need it. Yeah, if you've been close, that'd have got you. So I got one, and I never know where it's going to shoot out at. And I don't know how much weight that might hold, but it's like an appearing cane. At least, you know, I can. I'm not as cool as Ned or as with it as Miss Terry, but I do have a magical cane. Sometimes, as we walk in our life of faith, we may not understand everything God is doing. And if it ever feels like sometimes that He is fighting against us, it's very important. And He's not trying to be mean. He's really not trying to hurt us, though sometimes it might hurt, okay? But fighting with God is something I think that all of us will have to do at one time or another. Think about that, okay? All right. You can go back and sit, or just, like Rhett, you can just run around if you want to.
We're all going back to the children's church.
Okay, everybody head out.
Hey guys, wait on me, Dad.